Was there like true animosity and like hate that you guys had between LSU and Houston, or was it just kind of made up for for the fans to watch?
So I can't speak on any beef before I got there because I know it started with Jerron Florida. Travis, maybe his name was. But when I was there, it was actually a real beef between
Arch Manning thing that they've got going on, talking about his speed.
Bro, he's faster than Tyreek Hill.
Which means Arch Manning, by default, is also faster than Noah Lyles, obviously. That my 5 spot might be a little bit controversial. I'm going with Sidney McLaughlin-Lavroni at number 5.
Oh.
Let me tell you why. Welcome back to another episode of the Track World News Podcast. My name's Colin Waitsman. I'm your host with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, my brother?
What's going on, brother, man? Blessed and highly favored, bro, as always. Feeling good for another episode. We got some cool stuff today I'm really excited about. So, I'm feeling good, man. I can't complain. How about yourself?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I'm nervous going into this week for my Eagles. We had a tough loss last time. We're on the flip. You're feeling really good with your Jets. I'm feeling really nervous with my Birds. We're going into a tough game versus the Saints, who historically suck, but this year, I think Derek Carr just in election years, dude just goes off. So we'll see if we can get a big win here. But I'm feeling a little nervous going into this game in a couple. The game would have already happened by now, so we'll know by the time this gets released. But we'll see.
I feel it. Are we tagging election year Derek Carr? Like, we got like untucked jersey Kyrie and like all these names or whatever, but election year Derek Carr is.
Have you seen the stats for him during election years?
I haven't checked it, so I'm sure. So there was some sort of basis behind it. You haven't looked.
Yeah, so 2016 he had his MVP like caliber season through the first like 9 weeks. That was his first one. He was doing crazy, and then in 2020 he had his best QBR ever. It was still to this day the best QBR rating that he's ever had. And then this year so far, he's one of the number one quarterbacks in the entire league through the first. I know it's only 2 weeks and everything, so we'll see how we can keep it up. But I saw a bunch of people on Instagram and Twitter talking about. Yeah, election year Derek Carr is just another beast. He comes out once every 4 years, to be elite. So it's crazy.
Election year Derek Carr is hilarious, but I love it though. But y'all should win, man. I like Philly kinda. I think you guys are kind of like the bootleg Jets because you got green colors and all that. Y'all in Philly, it's just like right there. But I support Philly for sure. I love I love Devontae Smith and them guys over there. So I hope y'all do good.
Bootleg Jets is crazy. We should call y'all the bootleg Birds. But wait, why don't you like the Buffalo Bills? Like, are you from closer to Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm from closer to Buffalo, but when I was growing up, like they had people like Trent Edwards and J.P. Losman on the team. People don't know who those guys are, but those were like the quarterbacks when I was growing up. They were like 4-12 every year. Like, I'm not gonna support that. And the Jets were good, so and their colors are better. And their fans are like smarter and nicer and better people.
Smarter, nicer, better people. Yeah, you're just trying to hype yourself up. Yeah, you're smarter, better looking.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, we don't jump through tables. Like that's just ignorant. It's nonsense. So we don't do that over there on One Jets Drive.
Last year I went to the Jets Eagles game, and it was cool when they did. It was you're like actually y'all whooped our ass. That was our first loss. It was terrible, but it was cool. They had red zone, like NFL red zone, playing on the jumbotrons, like on the corners. So you're watching the regular game, and they also have NFL red zone playing. So you're never not watching something. I was like, this is amazing. All NFL stadiums should be doing this. But yeah, it was a cool experience, to see, even though we got demolished that game.
Was the game at MetLife?
Yeah, it was at MetLife. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. I was at MetLife a couple years ago for the home opener when they played the Ravens, and I was able to get like friends and family. So I was able to go out and like meet the guys. It was for the Ravens, friends and family, but still, like I was able to like get in there and see the guys and stuff. It was super cool.
Who was on the Ravens?
So Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
I was teammates with his sister in college. Like we're real cool. Shout out Britley. And I was happening to go to the game. She happened to go to the game because her brother's on the team, and She's like, oh, we got the friends and family thing. Like, you want to come? I'm like, girl, what? I'm sitting behind you. Come on. So we went, and it was super cool, to see those guys and see seeing the like the all the people that come for them to like support their support system is really interesting. I'll say that. Interesting.
There you go. It's I went to, what was it? The Eagles versus 49ers game a long time ago, when it was back at Candlestick, and we got to get floor passes to that game. And we were standing right next to, at the time, Deshaun Jackson was my favorite player. His sister was right next to us. And so he came up to like say hello to her and everything. And I've got his jersey on. I'm like, oh my God, like Deshaun, like, what's up? Like, you're my favorite player. Because we didn't know. We're like, why did he come up to you? And she's like, oh, that's my brother. I'm like, your brother's Deshaun Jackson? Bring his ass back over here. No, I got to say hi. Like, yeah. I was in middle school at the time. I'm still pissed at this. I lost my starting position for tight end in football. I was the starting tight end. And then I left because we had a game and it was so I missed our game that day. I lost my starting position. Then I had to be the guard for the rest of the year. It was some BS, man.
That's a miserable life.
Yeah, so I went from tight end to freaking left guard in middle school. So that was good.
Yeah, but you got to see Deshaun Jackson, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it worked out. But talking about football stuff, y'all see this Arch Manning thing that they've got going on? Talking about his speed,
bro. He's faster than Tyreek Hill,
which means Arch Manning by default is also faster than Noah Lyles, obviously.
Yeah, he's faster than Noah Lyles. Facts, bro.
Bro, I saw that. Like, so they're just like measuring his top speed or something? Like,
I guess they're measuring the top speed, and I don't know how credible that was because Tyreek, I'm like on a broadcast, they said he hit like 22.9 miles an hour this year. And then the graphic said 20.0. I don't know how accurate it was, but I think they were just measuring like whatever top speed they hit.
Yeah. So they hit it for like half a step, and then it's probably you're going dramatically down. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you could run in pads? What do you think your top speed could be? I don't know if you've ever done a miles per hour guess, even running.
I never have, but probably faster than everybody in the NFL. I think Xavier Worthy would probably be the only one that might like have a faster one than me, but I mean, shoot. A lot of those guys that's in the NFL, I low-key raced them already. So it's like I kind of know that I'm faster than them,
Okay. Who'd you say is the biggest NFL player
that I raced?
That you've raced?
Probably Devon Achane.
Oh, okay. He's the running back for the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, running back for the Dolphins. So he ran at A&M. I got an opportunity to run against him in college. Went my way. It went my way that day. So it's cool. But to see them in college and know them for track, and then all of a sudden you turn on the TV and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I ran against him. It's cool. It's cool to see that.
Yeah, biggest thing for me was in the track world, it was Terrence Laird. That was my biggest loss of all time racing against Terrence in high school. It was my senior year. He was like a freshman, sophomore, whatever, scrawny little dude. I'm like, oh, I'm Dustin Bull, and I was undefeated that season going into it already, and then I've never lost by more in a 100 meters in my life than when I was going up against that little kid. I was like, who the hell is this guy? This little Coatesville nut. And yeah, he beat me. So that was the worst one from a track person. But also, so and Brendan Rodney too. I actually beat Brendan Rodney I wasn't in the 4x1. He's on Team Canada in the 4x1.
Oh, you beat him?
Let me tell. It's like I beat him. I'll tell you why. Because so we're in the 4x1. My freshman year, his senior year, he went to LIU. I went to Mount St. Mary's, and it was the 4x1, and they got disqualified. So we won. So I was like, so we beat him. They still raced and finished ahead. Like, so they had like a lane infringement thing. So we still finished ahead of them. But so that's my claim to fame of I can say I beat an Olympic gold medalist in track. That's my coolest thing. So
and then the 4x1 at that's actually kind of ironic,
Yeah. Where he is, the medalist. Oh, Saquon Barkley too. I forgot Saquon Barkley. I didn't race
Saquon.
in the 4x1, there was a 4x1, but I didn't go up against him. I was on the second leg. He was on the fourth leg. Cause he's in my grade. It was at like not districts, but it was like a pretty big invitational. And so we raced against him. That was probably like the biggest name or whatever. I didn't really know who he was at the time. Because he wasn't big, but then by the time he was at Penn State, it was like, hold on, I feel like I've seen this dude before. It was like, oh crap, yeah, we went up against them. He beat us. They beat our 4x1, but that was probably the coolest like name or big name of something that we went up against. So now he's on the Birds, so it's good to see.
I feel it, bro. Hey, but back to Terrence real quick. I remember the first time seeing him in high school was our senior year at either New Balance games or New Balance Nationals. And he was a heat before me in the 200. And I'm like, bro, he ass, bro. Like, whoever this is, like, this little kid ass. Bro, like, I was so blown away watching it. I was like, no way this little dude just stepped like that, bro. That was crazy. And he was a little bit more edgier then. Like, he was a different character. He was a little bit more edgier. So I'm like, who is this little punk-ass kid, bro? You know, that's kind of what I thought. But now he the homie now. But, yeah, just to touch on that point with Terrence, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I still love the like the back like fresh. I guess his freshman year when it was like him in those like really carrying on that at the LSU Houston rivalry that y'all had when it was him and Sean just going back and forth every single year. Now that was electric, man. Was there like true animosity and like hate that you guys had between LSU and Houston, or was it just kind of made up for the fans to watch?
So I can't speak on any beef before I got there because I know it started with Jerron Flournoy and I think that one Travis, maybe his name was.
Maybe sure. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot his last name, but when I was there, it was actually a real beef between a runner on Houston and one of my relay members before by one over a girl. You know what I'm saying? You know it always be over a girl. You know what I'm saying? So then, like, when I got the tea, when they told me about what it was, I was like, yeah, we ain't losing to them, man. We ain't losing.
Dang. All right. Yeah, so there was a little bit of tension. Did y'all beat them each time, or was it?
They actually beat us at They beat us at Texas relays because our second leg pulled his hamstring at the time. So then they had to switch our order. But every time after that, we beat them. They came to our track. We smoked them. Got to nationals. They dropped them. They were so fake. Like the time I was there, like they was fake nice. I think before I got there, when they had Elijah Hall and
Leroy Burrell.
RIP.
Not Leroy Cameron, sorry, Leroy.
Yeah, but they was cold back then in that era. And they even like the 400 guys, Kamari Montgomery and Obi, like those teams were crazy that Houston had, but it got a little resurgence, I guess, this year.
Yeah, no, I was just watching that. Yeah, from that video, they still that comes up every time when it's Texas relays, the Jerron Flournoy video, like that. We don't get that much energy like that in track and field. So no, it's good. It's good. You ever do anything like that? Like when you want to race and you just like, no, I'm him. Ain't nobody beating me right now.
Yeah. Like the Jerron Flournoy look, I did that the same year in a 4x4 at conference, but I held it for like a good like 25, 30 meters. It went viral at the time. And like, it was just random because who is this kid from Akron? But yeah, I've done that quite a few times, pop my shit. I remember SEC championships after I won outdoors, it was a lot of noise, like, oh, he fluking, he not gonna win it. So after I won, I looked right at the camera. I got to talking my shit right there.
Did you think like going into like that conference race at Akron or even at SECs, going into it, are you like, no, if I'm ahead, if I'm like that, like I'm gonna be doing this, or is it just like in the moment you were like, all right, let me pop my shit?
Honestly, it depends on the competition. So when I was at Akron, I had smoke with the dude that was running anchor. It was a 4x4 when I passed him and looked over. Right. So I had smoke with the dude. So I was like, when I pass his ass, like I'm gonna look at him, just to make sure he know that he can't rock with me. Like I'm gonna look him in his eyes just so he knows we're not on the same level. And then at SECs, it was something personal with another athlete that people were saying I wasn't better than, and I was like, man, so it always is the competitor, like specific competitor that's gonna bring it out of me.
I remember, so we didn't race against each other, but we missed heats at some indoor Akron, like one of the Akron meets. I ran in a 4x4. Y'all were faster, obviously, but we ran in. You were like 2 heats after me, because in the indoor Akron track, because y'all it's a 300-meter flat track, and so I was so it was so weird because I was getting the baton in that back right hand corner, like when you're like all the way at the end. I think I was like on the second leg or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's second leg over there. Wait,
Yeah, it was
that's
second,
third, maybe third leg, but either way,
third.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I remember I was over there, but I tried to go back into the stats a little while ago to see if we ever actually raced against each other. Now you were in a different heat, but I would have been like, that's crazy. We were at the same meet for a couple of years and had no freaking clue. So
what year would have that been? Like 2019, maybe?
Yeah,
2018
was my senior. I went every year. So 2016,
Okay.
17, no, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, 16 through 19 we went. So I can't remember which one it was.
Probably was 18.
Probably 18, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there when Clayton Murphy was there? When
I got there the year after he left, but he was still training there, so I got to,
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember he broke the 4-minute mile like record indoors at one of the meets that we were there at. I remember
he did it at that track.
He did at that track. Yeah. He dusted people. That was an insane rate. An indoor sub 4 is ridiculous. Like that.
Yeah, it's sick. That's a fat dude. Like people don't know. Like the Akron Invitational every year indoors is like a very good meet for a lot of things. A lot of times, really good jumps and really good pole vaults happen there. But the way that their presentation, they cut the lights down, they got the smoke going, and like announce people. I don't know if you guys go for that specific meet.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. So yeah, they like, and it was cool. Like I remember one year I did it, and they're like, okay, pick your song, like your intro song, and we'll call you out against. It was like Champ Page was like the top competitor that day. He was an Ohio State guy. And they like announce you both out. And like it's super cool, bro. Like it's a dope environment. A lot of colleges or track meets in general don't do it. So for them to be a small school in Ohio doing that is super cool.
Yeah, they do it well, man. They do it well. And I like the facility. It's fairly cool track. And I like the stands is like right on like the long jump pit and everything. So like if you got people on there, like you right up on like what's going on. So it's good. It's a good track, man. It's a good track. But all right, let's get into these topics that we have. So, well, first off, the track season is now almost officially over. We have one more track meet this weekend with the Athlos Invitational. I'm sure we'll go over that once that happens. But for all intents and purposes, the track season is over. All championships have concluded. So, Noah, you want to share with what we're going to be going over today?
Today, we got an amazing segment for y'all. We are going to be ranking the top 10 track and field seasons from individual athletes, both men and women. I'm really confident in my list. I don't know how you're feeling about yours, but I got the facts to support what I'm talking about. I'm excited, man. So with that, let's rank them. Let's rank the top 10 seasons of the year, or the individual seasons of the year.
Here we go. Want to just do like one at a time, or go through the whole list and then?
Let's go one at a time. You want to start at 10?
Yeah, let's start at 10. So for me, at number 10, this was the hardest one for me. I wasn't too sure exactly where to go. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, do I stick with it? I think I got to. I'm going with Kenny Bednar at 10. So I wanted to put him higher. I really do. But everyone else on this list is putting up insane numbers as well. But he had an incredible level of consistency throughout his competition. The biggest reason that dropped him was that 100. I mean, he still got in the 100 and the 200 final, which is ridiculous in its own right, but just the 7th place performance lowered it down a little bit for me. His times though were great, and he came in second in the 200, and he came in, what's it called? He won the Diamond League final, but then also a thing that dropped him a little bit was that 4x1 handoff for me. I can't forget that. And so it's like I really wanted to put him higher, and I think there were just a few things like if we could have gotten that 4x1 wasn't the issue, and if we did well in that a little bit better in that 100, like there's no reason that he wouldn't have been higher. But still, I think top 10 season from Kenny B.
Top 10 season, agreed. 10th spot, agreed. And we did not discuss this prior, so
It's going to be the same thing where we're going to have, like, just like all of our other predictions, like, it's going to be like the same people. I swear we did not talk about this beforehand. I have no idea what Noah's going to pick. So,
yeah, I didn't know. But Kenny, like you said, like, I love him as an athlete so much that I want to just biasly throw him at 4, but definitely finishing off the season as Diamond League champ is just a great way for him to stamp off an incredible season. And that 4x1 was a little ugly. So, but moving to 9, I'll take 9. I got Tara Davis-Woodhall at 9, the Olympic champ in the long jump. I believe she had an undefeated season as well. I'm not 100% positive. She might have taken 1 loss. But I think she had an undefeated season. Olympic champ in the long jump. 9 spot, Tara Davis-Woodhall. Easy for me.
Okay. For me in the 9 spot, I've got Mr. Ryan Crouser himself. I mean, he just continues to dominate. He only lost 1 competition this year, came in first with every other one in all the major championships that he needs to. The reason that I have him lower is he had a little bit of a drop compared to his other seasons. He was competing with injuries, like how well he was doing, and he was going through some injuries, but he just wasn't at the same level. It's hard to say when you're breaking world records, like you have to be at a certain level, but yeah, that's I got Crouser over at 9.
Okay, I love it. I love it so much, but I did put Crouser at 8. For the reasons that you discussed. He did his thing this year. I thought he actually had an undefeated season, so I'm glad you said that. He got 1 loss under his belt, but he been the face of throws for probably 5 years now, at least.
Well, I'd say since like 2018, yeah, because he got that 2016 gold, but I don't know if he was the face of throws at that point. So, but yeah,
But when you think of throws, you think of that big, burly body. Even if you don't know his name, you know the face, or you've seen him before. So, I got Ryan at 8.
Yeah, no, he's cold, man, and he's doing some stuff with this shot put league too. We'll see how that goes. So, overall, I like that pick, and he created his own technique. Like, think about like how crazy that the Ryan Crouser slide, like nobody's doing that. Like, making your own technique. Imagine like some 400-meter runners, like, yeah, I run it a completely different way than everybody else. Like, nah, that don't happen. Like, he's one of them. He's one of them ones, man. He's crazy. He's crazy.
He is one of them ones.
I got for number 8. Oh no, yeah, we did 9. Yeah, this is my number 8, right? This is number 8. Yeah. So for number 8, I have Safan Hassan at 8. Just with her, how wide of a variety of what she runs is insane. I mean, at the same Olympic Games, she comes in 3rd place with the 1500, and then just 3 days later comes in 3rd place in the 10,000. And then 2 days after that, she wins the marathon. She is dominating from 5K to the marathon in the same freaking meet. On top of, she also won the Chicago Marathon, which was a huge one as well. So just how far she can just dominate in a variety of meets in the same thing is crazy. Like there was an interview that she did where she was asked like, yeah, why do you do this? She's like, I think I'm just a psycho. He's like, I honestly have no idea why I do this. Like, I just love the pain, I guess, which is realistic. It's crazy with what she's doing.
Yeah, crazy mind, but she produced some crazy times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got an 8.
8. That's where I had Ryan Crouser was my 8.
Oh, you said 8. Okay, you said you're 8. Yeah. So then I got number 7. We're on 7, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for number 7 for me, I've got the one and only. I was debating this. Some people might say this is too low. But I got Grant Holloway over at 7. Now, I think a lot of people may think this is too low, but the people that are ahead, I think, have had an even more dominant of a year. There's a debate with who I got with number 6, but I think he was undefeated this entire year throughout both the 60 hurdles as well as the 110 hurdles. We're now getting into that factor of of world records, because he broke the world record, I think, in the 60 hurdles, right, this year.
Yeah.
He does it like every year. So he's got the second fastest time of all time as well in the 110-meter hurdles that he did this year. That was my biggest debate. I wasn't too sure. I feel like he should be a little bit higher, but then I look at all of these other people and I have trouble with convincing myself to put him ahead of some of these other people. But I got Grant Holloway at 7.
I feel it, bro. I respect it. And that's how I felt about my number 7 pick. And when you were prefacing your number 7 pick, I thought we had the same, because my number 7 pick was Noah Lyles. Now, this might be controversial. Some folks might be mad, but here's why, right? Noah goes out there, world indoor champion in 60. Fantastic. Goes out there and PBs in 100, wins the Olympic title in 100, bronze in 200. Obviously didn't compete in the relay because of COVID, and then shut his season down after the Olympics. So had Noah gone out there and beat, Tobogo and Kenny at a couple of those Diamond Leagues after the Olympics to prove like, okay, I had COVID, that was a fluke. Or if he had went to the Diamond League final and won the 200, then it would have been a different conversation. But that's where Noah, considering what the other athletes have accomplished this year, I put Noah at 7.
Mm. Yeah, I put Noah at 6. So Noah's in my 6th spot. So that's where I was my biggest debate of Grant and Noah. Because I think that Grant has more accolades he won indoors. Noah ran the 60 at the Worlds, I think, right? Or did he not? Was that the year before?
Yeah, he won Worlds. He won Worlds in the 60.
He won Worlds. Yeah. So I had him. He came in second this year indoors.
Christian won?
Yeah, he ran a 6:44. Yeah, because remember he beat him.
Christian won the final. Yeah,
he beat him at USA's, and then Christian won in the thing. So, yeah, I got Noah at 6. I think he had a really strong regular season throughout it, and then obviously winning being the fastest man in the world. Like, you got that comes with it, like in dramatic fashion of how close that race was, and people doubting if you'd be able to do it. Like, that was a big moment. What is holding him back is the fact that he did come in 3rd in the Olympics in the 200 meters, and he didn't compete throughout the end or be a part of that 4x1. So he could have been a little bit higher to me, but yeah, 7 and 6, like that's fine. Like I think we're in the same kind of like ballpark with where it's at. But yeah, I got him in the 6th spot. So
okay. So for your 6th spot, you had Noah. For my 6th spot, I had Gabby Thomas. 3 gold medals at the Olympics, 4x1, 4x4, and 200 meter. Not much more to say than that. You can't really beat 3 gold medals at the Olympic Championships. But we did see a bit of an up and down year from her prior to, I'd say, U.S. Championships. I remember, I think it was LA Grand Prix. We saw Sydney go out there and beat her over 200, and like a couple other like weird races where she just didn't look herself or she didn't put it together. So she didn't, I wouldn't say dominate from the beginning to the end of the season, but the highlight of her season is could potentially be the highest, light of the season. I think she's the only one with 3 golds at the Olympics. Out of my list, she is. So, yeah, you got to give her that, in my opinion.
Okay, no, I like that. I like that. What's crazy is how like these world ranking points and everything, like, what do you think that they have Gabby Thomas for overall world rankings? So
overall women?
For just the women. They have Gabby Thomas as the blank best season of the year this past year. What do you think they got?
As far as the women, I would probably say World Athletics ranking system. She didn't run in too many Diamond Leagues, probably like 6 or 7.
They got her at 20.
Whoa.
20. You got to scroll down. Number 1, they got Faith Kipyegon. Then they have Beatrice Chebet, Femke Bol, Julian Alfred, and Safan Hassan. Those are the top kind of 5.
Yeah, it's the point system. I think it's rewards frequency as well.
Yeah, so it's I was like, dang, you got to scroll all the way down a little bit to find Gabby. But no, she had a cold year, like with her 200 and everything. So I respect that. Who you got at 5?
Rye Benjamin. 5
Okay.
spot, I took Rye Benjamin, undefeated season in the 400 hurdles. He finally really took it and left absolutely no doubt in anybody's brain as to who the best was. I think a lot of events in this sport are up in the air, from 100 up in the air, 200 up in the air, 400 up in the air, 800 up in the air. But the 400 hurdles, like, it has been up in the air for a long time. But the way he dominated every single time he stepped on the track, amazing. And then going and having the fastest split at the Olympics as well in the 4x4 to end it off. Incredible stuff, man. You know, so I put Rye there at that 5 spot.
We're going to have very different lists from what it sounds like. There's some people that I feel like I'm going to have that you ain't going to have. And there's some that I know I'm not having that you have. This is okay. No, we got some interesting stuff here. Okay. Because at my 5 spot might be a little bit controversial. I'm going with Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni at number 5.
Whoa.
Let me tell you why. This is why I have her at 5. I have her at 5 based on the frequency of her performance.
I feel it though.
She did not compete enough to, like, all of the people that are above her competed more often. And while many of them have broken world records, or many of them, you know, have other crowning accomplishments as well, Sydney just didn't compete enough in my kind of reasoning as to why she was lower. Now, she had some great years, you know, competing in both the 200, in the 200, the 400, as well as the 400 hurdles. Now, she did have some dominant performances, but I just, like, I needed to see more racing out of her, in my opinion, because, like, all these other people competed all the time throughout, like, almost every weekend, and I take that into consideration as to why I'm putting her at 5. You clearly don't agree.
That really hurt my, like, spirit. It made me a little bit hot hearing you say that. And I feel it though. Like, she don't run the most. We know that. I'm gonna just continue because Sydney's later on in my list towards the end. So I'm gonna just continue. I'll talk about Sydney later. My 4 spot. That was your 4. Or that was your 5.
That was my 5. Yeah.
Okay. So headed to 4 because my 5 was Rye. My 4 is Letsio Tebogo. Okay. Olympic champ in the 200, Diamond League champ in the 200, world record in the 300. Showed consistency as a sprinter. 43 splits, 44 splits, sub 10 sub 9 nines, sub 19.8, you know, sub 19.5, you know. So that's absolutely dominating an event, absolutely dominating an event group. Fred is another one that has the capability to do, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, but hasn't done it this season like Tebogo did. So dominance on a large scale like that, running frequently, multiple Diamond Leagues, multiple big championships, multiple places all over the world. He was running in Cali. He was running in, you know what I'm saying, everywhere, Brussels, everywhere. So he got it done everywhere. Obviously won the Olympic championship, and probably the most gracious victory of that meet in particular, the most globally well received, you know, just very somebody that the world loved seeing win. That was a special race. So all of those things encapsulated him being number 4 on my list.
All right. No, I like that. Yeah, he was just, his entire season, I think, was very strong. And when you look at, like, you know, he had the difficulties with, obviously, the passing of his mother and all these other things, of just, like, the stuff that he had gone through to get to where he is today. Like, incredible season. So, you know, I see exactly where you're coming from. So I also had Tebogo at our 4 spot. These, my top 3, I've been debating, and even, like, I've been looking at it, like, I've been making some switches in my head as we're going through it and thinking about how they're their seasons broke down and, what these other people have accomplished. And so, Tebogo, I had him at this 4 spot. I think he had an incredible year, with the, coming in second in the 400 meter 4x4, for the team, and Rye saying like, when I saw that I was going up against Tebogo, I was like, I gotta get out, because this dude can compete. He can compete. And so just showed the respect that these athletes have for Tebogo is incredible. And so, I got him in the same spot.
I love it, bro. Then we moving forward, man, to the 3 spot, top 3. I got Julian Alfred.
Okay.
Olympic champion 100, Olympic silver medalist in the 200, Diamond League champion 100, World 60 indoor meter champion. Need I say more? You know what I'm saying? Didn't leave much on the table. Didn't get a world record over 100. That's pretty freaking hard to do. But that was like the only other chip that she could have thrown on the table, unless grabbing that gold in the 2. So I put her at the 3 spot for sure.
Yeah, I mean, when I don't think too much about them world records in the 1 and the 2 for the women. They're in both. They're impossible to get. Like them things are out there. And so no, she was doing her thing. I'm not getting into Julian Alfred yet. I'm saving her for a little bit later. But my 3 spot, I have got Faith Kipyegon. She, world record in the 1500, Olympic champion in the 1500, second place in the 5K, undefeated, I believe, throughout her season in the 1500. She just had an incredible season in a race where it is very easy to lose and random people getting a win. The 1500, anything can happen in these distance races. We saw that from, I know it was the 800, but we saw that with Athing Mo this past year, and just how really anything can happen in these races. There's so many competitors, there's so many things going on, and it can be easy to get boxed in or to not be able to get on out. So with the fact that there's all of these random things that could happen, and she is the most sure bet every single time the 1500 comes across, like that is pure dominance to me, and the frequency of which she was doing it as well was just incredible. So I got Faith 3.
I love it. Actually, I couldn't put her on my list because I'm not educated enough in distance events. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm a sprinter. Y'all know I'm when it comes to sprints, I can really talk to y'all and I can give y'all some game and knowledge, but I don't pay that too much attention to that distance event or enough respect to the distance events where I put her in my list. But every time I'm checking rankings, every time I'm checking the scoreboard or just graphics, she's always on the top of the list. So that, that goes without saying. So congrats to her for a fantastic season as well. But moving to my 2 spot, I got Mondo Duplantis. Rock star, man. Now, this could be controversial because he technically only does one event. We did see him do 100, but that don't really count. But the level of dominance in breaking your own world record that many times, season after season, multiple times during the season, is just, you're number 2. He's number 2. He's number 2, So you can debate me if you want to, but I'm very comfortable throwing him at 2.
Yeah, go debate with your mama. He's too far ahead for me. Yeah. So I got Mondo at 2 as well. Just like to show to share with the team or the people listening of how dominant Mondo is in the pole vault. I'm gonna pull up some stats for you here of just showing the top jumps of this year. So we're gonna go over all jumps. Okay, so of every single vault that's happened, Mondo has, of the top 10 jumps, he has 8 of the top 10 jumps, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, he has 12 of the top 14 jumps, and he has the top 8 jumps over the course of this year. He's broken his own world record 3 times this year, jumping 624, 625, and 626. He is in a world of his own. He jumps 6 meters 26. The next closest person is 601. He's a full 25 centimeters ahead of every single person that is even lacing up their pole vault spikes. It is a level of dominance we haven't seen before. Another sure thing in track and field. And I like that that 100 that he had, man, beating Warholm. Like, sure, it doesn't count like legitimately and everything, but it's nice to be able to see. You know, you bring it home. You're beating another world record holder. Like anytime you can beat someone that's a world record holder, like you got to be feeling good about yourself. So now he's a dog. He's got that swagger to him. Like yeah, he's a beast, man. He's got to be a 2 for me.
Out of this list that I made, I think Mondo has the most aura out the whole list. I weigh that heavily though. You know, like if your aura is just crazy and the way that you carry yourself is just fire, like I'm gonna support you a little bit more. You know,
Noah, the aura officer, CAO.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I'm gonna just for the next episode instead of Noah Williams, that's what you're gonna see.
Who you got at number 1?
Easy, the easiest pick, Sydney McLaughlin Levrone. Multiple times she broke her own world record in the 400 hurdles. Obviously won the Olympic championships in the 400 hurdles, but she also was able to finish the season number 8 with a number 8 time in the 200 and the number 4 time in the 400. This girl is so special that the Diamond League had to create 2 races just for her. The Diamond League had to do this, create her own races. That goes to say how special she is. Sydney doesn't lose when she steps on the track. We've seen her cook Tamara Clark. We've seen her cook Gabby Thomas. We've seen her cook names on top of names. You know what I'm saying? So number 1 spot, best athlete in the sport, most iconic figure in the sport, Sydney McLaughlin, bro. Levrone.
I see it. Like, I think she definitely can be up there. I think it's just those other people. I feel it's hard. I think we can could definitely put her potentially over Tobogo. But I feel like some of these other people just had some other pretty crazy seasons. I mean, at my number 1, I've got Julian Alfred. I take that fastest woman in the world title, you know, second in the 200. You won all of the major championships this year, and you competed in all of the major championships this year. Like, I take that very seriously. Of what else do you want her to do? Sure, she could have broken some world records, but those world records, you know, excuse me, there's question marks about, you know, how they even got there. So, you know, it's going to be tough for someone to come, someone to get close to that. Yeah, just like I think of it as, if in our sport is about winning and who wins a lot, who wins the most. That's what Julian Alfred did. She won when it mattered the most. Nobody even came close. She got the whole country of St. Lucia on her back, like biggest celebrity in the country. That's crazy. Yeah, I gotta have Julian Alfred at number 1. She just had an incredible year, I feel.
If anybody were to be over Sydney, though, it would have to be Julian, based on, like, you know, the longevity of events that she was able to win. In the technicality, like, I low-key would have to put Julian over Sydney, but I think on a talent standpoint and just separating yourself talent-wise from everybody else, that's where I think Sydney plays the part. But Julian is probably, would you say Julian is the best short sprinter in the sport?
Yeah, I would say, if you were to, like, yeah, she's definitely the best short sprinter. I would say over the course, like, men and women right now, it's her and Litsili Tobogo, I think, that are the 2 best sprinters right now over the course of both of them. Yeah.
Wait, Julian and who?
Tobogo.
Not Julian and Noah?
Right now, I mean, Noah didn't win against Tobogo in the 200.
But Tobogo didn't win against Noah in the 100.
That is also correct. Like, I think right now, I mean, he continued to run in you know, the past you know, the second half of the season. Like, sure, I think that Noah, I'm not saying Noah's far behind, but I think, like, right at this moment, like, he competed, and like I said, I got to take that into consideration, that you did compete, and the fact that you didn't, like, whether it was because you were, you know, not healthy or whatever it might be, like, that plays a part. And I gotta have Tobogo in there, you know, for me. But I'm not, like, married to it. I think I can understand where it comes from.
Nah, I feel it. I like how you stood on it. I tried to challenge you a little bit. You stood on it. I respect it, for sure. I think it's up in the air, and I've had this conversation with myself between who is the best between Noah and let's Sealy Tobogo as we talking short sprints is a whole. And I think the biggest thing that goes in Tobogo's favor is the age factor. It's like, what, 5 years younger than Noah?
Yeah, Tobogo is
21.
21, and yeah, I think Noah is 27, right? You just turned 27 not too long ago.
Either 27 or 26. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think he's 1 year younger than me, so I think he's
27.
I think I'd have to go through and see, but yeah. So he's let me pull this up. He was born in 97, July 18th, 97.
So he would have just turned 27, I think.
Yeah, and Tobogo is June 7th of 2003. So yeah, he's a couple. What is that?
2003
years younger. Yeah, got 6 years on. Like that's a whole Olympic cycle. That's an Olympic cycle and a half right there, man. That you won't get. So yeah.
Tobogo is ahead of every single sprinter ever at the age 21 besides Bolt. Like that. If we're talking an age thing, that's the craziest part to me.
Yeah, he's got like he has the potential to be breaking, like, of all the sprinters that are currently still running. I think that he has the best chance of breaking these world records from Usain Bolt, of like the age that he's at. Like I think he's got the best chance of going through and doing it. I think there's a couple other athletes that are young as well that have a chance. I think Arian's best chance would be in the 200, maybe. I don't know. I'd still pick Tobogo over Arian right now, but I think he's just going on a crazy tear right now, just a generational run.
For sure. And then to kind of close out our list, I had a couple honorable mentions. I think people had fantastic seasons that didn't quite make the list, or somebody I just forgot about, right? So my honorable mention would be Matthew Hudson-Smith, Quincy Hall, and Grant Holloway. Now, Grant Holloway is somebody I just didn't really think about when I was making my list. Like, if I do it again, I'll probably put him at the 10th spot over Kenny. I'll probably put him even over Tara. But Quincy Hall and Matthew Hudson-Smith are guys that I really wanted to put on the list just because I'm a 400 guy. And I think both of them accomplished, like, incredibly fantastic things this year, but just not quite to the magnitude of the others on the list. So that's my honorable mention.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I got excuse me. I'd say some of the other people that I'd put for mine. I'd say number one, like one of the honorable mentions, Gabby Thomas. Put her in there. I think she had a killer season this year. I think you also said it with Quincy. I think you could put him in there, and then just some shout outs to Quincy Wilson as well. I think, like, sure, he didn't make an individual event, but if we're talking like who had some of the best seasons, to say that the sophomore in high school that made it to the Olympics and got an Olympic gold medal isn't in one of the best seasons, like, I don't know, like, then when would you ever put something like that? Like, he had an insane year. The future for him is crazy bright. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna be doing. I'm sure we'll hear a lot of his name when we're doing some other rankings of, top under 21. So yeah, I got him for sure.
For sure. And one more name is Masai Russell. I got to shout out Masai too. Obviously, the Olympic champion, 100 hurdles. Nobody really saw this season from her, honestly. I mean, I'm sure she saw it for herself, but you ask 1,000 track fans in January, would Masai Russell accomplish this, and this year? Probably 90% of them would say no. So, and that's not even a slight to her. Like, she just popped her shit and did her thing. So, I'm a big fan. But yeah, I'll throw Masai on there too.
Cool. All right, that's good. That's good. I also was having trouble with the men's 1,500 meters, because they all, like, Josh Kerr, Jared Naguse, Cole Hocker, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, like, they're all like the same athlete right now. Like, on any given day, one of them is winning. You don't know who, and so it's hard to put one of them there, because each one of them has their own reason why you should put them in the spot. Cole's the one that won the 1,500. Jakob came in fourth, but he won the 5K. Josh Kerr came in third, but he has the mile world record in the indoors. Jared Naguse, American record, and he came in second. So it's hard to pick which one of those. So I'd say, just as a conglomerate, the men's 1,500 meters, those four people, I think you got to put in there that conversation as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's dope, though. They were actually on my conscience as I was coming up with this list. I couldn't put them on there, but they was on my head. It was on my brain. For sure.
There you go. They on the noggin. They on the noggin. But awesome, man. Any other I guess the one other thing I saw with track stuff going on, we see this Diamond League releasing their new payments for winners.
Yeah, they increased it a little bit, huh?
Yeah, they increased the total payouts for athletes. I think it's super interesting how when all of these new leagues come out, all of a sudden these there's not much revenue in this. It comes out of nowhere. It's crazy. Where we find this extra $300,000 out of nowhere? The sponsorship deals that different, or is it just like, oh, we have other people that are willing to pay these athletes more? We have to raise our amounts that we have. So, I mean, I like it. Like, I think all progress is good progress. Sure, it would have been great to have this going on earlier, but yeah, I just noticed that we got these upgraded payments for Diamond League. So I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. But I think Michael hit me with the follow yesterday. That kind of threw me off. Michael Johnson hit me with the follow yesterday, so I think he's gonna DM me like, "Hey, bro, go ahead."
You must be watching the show. I mean, there we go. We talked to you. You said Michael Johnson hit me up, and so that just show. Oh, if you're listening to this now, Michael Johnson, appreciate it. So glad that you hopefully like the Track World News podcast. That might be what it is.
Yeah, Michael Johnson, if you watch it, man, we need you on the show for real. We're gonna tap in.
Tap in. Have the GOAT join in on Track World News. We'll see. That'd be a great ad. We'll have to get some with the off season. I'm sure we'll get some new guests on the show, have them join, have some good conversations. So be on the lookout for that. So we'll go over some rankings. We'll have some guests joining us, chatting it up with track and field. But that's all I got with today. Any other things we missed, man?
Not so much, track is slow right now. I know there's been a couple new signings to Grand Slam. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, Melissa Jefferson was the most recent one.
Okay, yeah, Melissa Jefferson, word. So, that's going to be still moving and grooving. I'm just kind of staying in tune with that. Season's changing. It's getting a little better. So I put a little fit on yesterday, something like that. So, it's that time of year, man.
Put that shit on. Why not? There you go. All right. Good stuff. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Track World News Podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and have a great rest of your Monday and a great week. Peace.